pair of bread toast, but I'd kill for a pair of freaking bread toast.
What?
Something.
Anyways, okay. So here's the deal. A lot of people. You ready?
It's Jordan 12s that are dropped. It's not. It's the 12s. Isn't it the white and black ones?
I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
I'll show you in a minute. Sorry, didn't mean to get you off your game here.
No, it's okay.
But you know, it's funny because, you know, I mean, we made the business move a couple years ago, right? A lot of people were like, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
And you hear the people like, "Oh, that's a recruiting model," and blah blah blah, right? So here's the thing. What we've been able to build in, say, the last 2 years, where we're making about 25 to 30,000 a month passively, just passively from EXP. Do you know how much money you would need to save in investments at a 5% return in order to make that same kind of passive monthly income?
You gotta have it's gotta be at least $1 million.
$7 million.
Sorry,
$7 million.
just threw up
I'm
in
gonna
my
actually post the graph for people to see. So if you're one of those people laughing at me behind my back, being like, "Oh, those guys," I'm like, you need to understand something. You need to understand economics, right? If your strategy is to go and buy investment properties, right? Think about how much cash, and believe me, I own investment properties. Do you know how much cash you need to put in for an investment property, Joe?
Oh yeah, you need your down payment.
20%.
Yeah, I was gonna say you need your down payment. You need some type of cash reserve because at some point something's gonna happen.
Right.
So you're gonna have to have some kind of reserve. And what are you gonna cash flow off the average property in today's market?
So say you cash flow $1,000 on the high end,
that's
$800,
definitely on the
200.
high end.
So like you're gonna take hundreds of thousands of liquid dollars. So you have to actually have a huge income in order to do that. You're gonna take those liquid funds. You're gonna go invest them in an asset that we know right now is probably highly priced with low interest rates. And you're going to go do that to make $12,000 a year positive returns. Maybe if you're really good at this, maybe you make $25,000 a year.
Oh man, I was going to say you might make 10 in today's market.
But yeah,
cap rates,
you're going to laugh. You're going to laugh at me and us and what we've built, and we're making almost $30,000 consistently every single month in under 2 years with zero capital risk, zero investment, and that's just one stream of income that we've built.
Yeah.
Do you realize, like, anybody that's listening to this right now, we can help you build a passive income within 3 to 6 months by literally just helping agents sell more houses or showing our opportunity to the right people that are open-minded, and you could literally change your life.
And there's so much more to it too. Again, just like the share purchase program, like it just goes on and on and on. Like it's insane.
You know what's funny? So a few years ago, people were like, "Oh, the stock's worthless. Stock's worthless." This is where people are telling me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, stock's worthless. So you know, I just came in. We switched our license to EXP, and I just did their share program. Okay.
Yeah, that's 5% on your commissions.
I took 5% of my commissions, and I just bought the stock at a 10% discount every month. All I did was that, Joe. I didn't do anything else. I didn't buy the stock outside of that. Do you know what I've done in 2 years?
What have you done?
I have $500,000 that I've been able to gain in profit from that stock, and I still hold $200,000 in EXP just because of the stock growth and appreciation, literally just by buying it off my commission checks. So again, those same people that are sitting here laughing, being like, "Oh, those guys, like, oh, they're just network marketers, multi-level marketers."
Yeah, the MLM, the pyramid scheme.
Do you realize, like, I've doubled my net worth? Doubled my net worth by just literally switching from this platform to this platform. And not only that, now I'm changing your life, I'm changing Paige's life, I'm changing other people's life in our group, because what am I doing with our rev share? I'm giving away 75% of it every month, guys, to our team. You want retention?
Yeah.
You want people to, like, be excited about building not only your future but their own future? Make them a part of something. But, like, you guys, those are 2 income lines that are not available in any other model that I was at. So those people that are laughing and being like, "Oh, yeah, I win more listings," you're playing the wrong game. Yeah. You realize, like, you're playing the wrong game. You're playing a game of chasing commission checks. Guess what, bro? We did $4 million in GCI last year. We're still making more money at EXP than we were at RE/MAX or any other brokerage. So it's not about that. It really is about building wealth and a legacy. And, like, for a lot of you, your retirement plan is going to depend on you having a shit ton of cash. And the reality of it is most of you won't. How many realtor retirement parties have you been at, Joe?
I'm trying to think of how many realtor retirement parties I've ever heard of, let alone attended. And like I'm struggling. I've never even heard of one. Ain't nobody getting a gold watch or getting that pension, right? So yeah, I don't know.
Hey, listen, you can dedicate 30 years to your craft. Be a realtor. Be smart with your money. buy investments, buy assets along the way. I think that's a great strategy, and you can do the 25 to 30 year grind, and you could have financial independence. Or you could talk to us, take a look at how we've done it, and in 6 years, I've been able to create complete financial freedom for my family, and now I'm helping do the same thing for your families. You might want to pay attention and take a look at what it is that we're doing, because I'll tell you, I'm a pretty smart business person. I'm not an idiot. And I wouldn't just go to a multi-level marketing company that, you know, people laugh and call the Tupperware company. Are you kidding me? These are real numbers. This is tangible money every single month, and you can fact check everything that I'm showing with you right now. You can fact check, and I will happily open it up.
And you know, I just think sometimes people get held back. Like, just reach out to us. Like, I think we're almost transparent to a fault. Like, we open up literally everything. Not only like the whole real estate group playbook. I mean, like, if you had to guess, what would that playbook have cost us? Look at the content we've made in the last 2 years.
Millions.
What went into that?
I've spent millions because it's our entire playbook on how we built our organization. Mm-hmm. Literally, we sell as a group with our affiliate program was 450 homes almost that we sold last year. 450 homes, a 7-figure playbook. We make that available to all of our partners for free. So if you want to learn how to sell more houses, because like that's important to you, great. Mm-hmm. You're not interested in agent attraction, no problem. Nobody's ever going to force that on you. But I'll tell you this, it's an option. And it's an amazing option if you can see that, you know, 1 + 1 doesn't always just equal 2.
It equals 3.
It equals 3 in
revenue
some cases.
lines.
3 revenue lines. So anyways, it's funny. I love the haters. Yeah. Like, you guys motivate me to prove you wrong more and more. When I came in, we started our own brand, and we started our team and did everything else in the beginning very early on. A lot of you had a lot to say. A lot of haters had to talk shit. And that's fine. It motivated me. It like fueled a fire. And so those same haters are coming out of the woodwork now trying to be like, oh yeah, we're going to get them with this whole EXP thing. Guys, you're sitting watching a fucking rocket ship go right in front of your eyes, and you are going to be one of the late adopters, which means you're not going to get the same benefit that we will for being early adopters. Yep. And that's okay, man. Not everybody jumped on the Netflix bandwagon right away. Not everybody got on the Amazon bandwagon. It took a lot of years for them to get to where they are today. Oh, yeah. But guess what? EXP, in 5 years from now, we should have over 500,000 agents globally. We will be the largest real estate company. Whether you and I are here or not, this rocket ship is going to continue to move forwards, and you can get a seat on the bus and really understand what you're missing out on, or you can drink the Kool-Aid that your broker owners want you to drink, which is fine. Maybe you're one of those broker owners and you're like, oh yeah, fuck those guys, and you want to just really hold on to where you are. I get it.
You know, it's funny, I'm going to correct you, right? It's not about being on the bus or drinking the Kool-Aid. It's about being on the bus or being in direct trajectory when that bus eventually runs everybody over. Because at some point, I think traditional brokerages just, you can't keep going the way you're going. You know, a lot of people have said, you either innovate or you evaporate. And I think that's the true test of time. Like, where's Blockbuster right now? They refused to innovate. And I think it's so funny because we're in that early adoption period. And they say for consumers, it's actually a 20-year adoption period. And if you look at things like crypto, like EXP, how fast that adoption rate has picked up, like, it's tremendous. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if the total landscape of real estate changes in the next 3 to 4 years. I don't think you'll see a lot of these brokerages anymore. And it's the big name ones, I think, that are going to almost fall first because they built this infrastructure. And again, like we always say, once you see the opportunity, you can't unsee it. So I think you're almost going to get a split. You're going to get the sort of older agents who are going to go, well, I can't do this anymore. I'm too old to switch. You know, my whole image is that brand. And then you're going to get the people that actually go, well, wait a minute, maybe there's something else. Right? And those are the people that are going to get on the bus, or the people are going to get run over. But either way, the bus will be moving.
Yeah, it's funny. A lot of people don't understand revenue share. Mm-hmm. It's a lot different than profit share. So revenue share is top-line revenue that gets split 50-50. So 50 stays with the company and 50 goes to us, the agents. That's what funds our stock program and our revenue share. The company has 0 debt. If you actually look at this, it's a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. Yeah. Take a look for yourselves. Like, everything I'm telling you is public knowledge and information you can go and gather. No debt, sitting on $110 million worth of cash. We own all of our own companies, Success Magazine, Showcase IDX, and Verbella. Verbella is our online university software, which, guess what, gets licensed out by thousands of companies globally. Like the game, the game Fortnite. My kids play Fortnite, literally, on Verbella's technology and platform. Every single time my kids are playing Fortnite, EXP is earning a toll booth income from that, which goes into our whole EXPI stock. So you want to know how I made $500,000 in stock? It's not because like I'm brilliant. It's because I could see where things were going, and I've missed out on a lot of things. I missed out on Uber. I missed out on Netflix. I missed out on Amazon, and I'm not missing out on this rocket ship. I'm really not. So this thing's moving forwards. We have seats on the bus. If you're an entrepreneur-minded person, you want to learn how to build a real income outside of just selling houses, which is exchanging time for money, by the way, right? If you want to learn how to build a better real estate business, but passive income, and have an exit strategy so that you can have a retirement party one day,
we'll go.
And we'll be there.
We'll be there.
Reach out to us. Have a conversation, right? What's there to lose? Like, really, your ego might get bruised a little bit.
Just ask the questions that other people are scared to. You know, I think a lot of people are scared to reach out, but just ask.
People don't just get persuaded to come over to EXP.
Like,
you understand that, right? Like, people aren't just coming over and being like, oh yeah, I'm joining EXP. It's because the value proposition's there. All we need you to do is have an open mind and check your ego at the door and take a look for yourself. That's it.
That's it.
And then if you don't like it, no problem, right? At least you understand where things are going, and then you can decide where you want to be in history. I know what side I'm going to be on. What side are you going to be on?
And the people who don't like it now are going to have to, at some point, learn to love it. And again, it's that innovate or evaporate. Get on it now. Be an early adopter.
Yeah. And listen, we're not here to try and cause shit in the industry. Like, this is a company that's sharing its revenues with realtors and giving us the opportunity to have ownership in the companies. We're not just funding somebody else's dream. We get to be a part of it. That's why we're here. And if that's a bad thing, if you think that's a bad thing and is a threat to you, I'd question how you're understanding the model. Don't you think?
Oh, for sure.
Right? Like, if you're not seeing this, then that's okay. But, like, really, like, EXP is the one company that's truly, like, for the agents, and that's why we're here. So,
there you go.
There you go. I just ranted for 10 minutes. Thanks, guys. Hey, if this is, like, a good sneak peek into, like, what conversations can be like behind the scenes, this is it.
Yeah, this is us hanging out in the boardroom.
Hanging out in the boardroom, just having a chat. But
so,
reach out.
Here's what I want. I want to create a new series. I want, like, story time with Jason.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things that I still sort of laugh about, and like it's not that I didn't enter real estate like the traditional way. Like, I'm not licensed. I'm nobody in this whole thing. But I remember when we first started the coaching company. I'd been with a coaching company in, I guess, maybe a week, 2 weeks. And I remember I was sitting in the boardroom, which was like an old, like, rickety, like, dining room table and almost like a pseudo electrical room / weird kitchen. And you were like, hey, man, do you want to go out for lunch with me? And I kind of thought, okay. And it was the first time I ever had heard of EXP. And it was a large agent in our area that had invited us out for lunch. I didn't know anything. Like, I didn't know shit about shit. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Tell that story, man. I love that story about the first time, that first EXP conversation. And I want to sort of draw a parallel between what that conversation was to what we do. Talk about it.
You tell the story, man. You're a better story.
I don't know. I'm a ranter. So we got out for lunch with a really high producing agent, and again, I didn't know what EXP was, let alone what it stood for or Remax or anything. I wasn't a licensed agent. I was helping with a coaching company, and I remember we sat down and we got pitched hard, like hard, you know. And I remember, and this is I had like a new respect for you at this level, and again, this is a really high producing agent. Well known up and down the island, and he was coming to us, right? Pulled up in whatever Italian vehicle he was driving at the time. And so we're sitting down, he's just selling it. And you were like, yeah, you know, sounds great. Check comes, and he picks up the check, and he looked at you, and he goes, so, are we in? And I remember you looked at him, and you said, you know, the funny thing is, you never made time for me. You never gave me the fucking time of day when I was at that brokerage with you, before you made the switch. You tell me why I should give a shit about you now. And the look on that dude's face, man. Like, I still see that when I close my eyes sometimes. Like, just that jaw drop. And to me, when I think about the EXP opportunity, I think that there's so many people out there who are pitching people that way. And to me, it's not a pitch. It's more of it should be more of a value proposition. It should be a win-win, not a sale. And I think that that's the one thing that I'm just so proud of with the downline that we've built, is we've never had to have those conversations or have people say that back to us. You know, the amount of people that we coach and mentor just from the side of our desks. People that reach out to us, whether it's social media or just a quick text. You don't know who I am, but I've been following you for a year. Right? And I'm kind of like, what? You know, and it's just so funny. Like, we are so high on giving value. Like, look at what we built in the last 2.5 years. And I tell you, I go back and I think of that conversation, and I don't know how that guy's ever going to have a downline. And it always gets me when people sign up with a sponsor because of who the sponsor is, not the value that sponsor provides. And for me, that was like the biggest like light bulb going off, hearing that conversation and understanding that that's how I never want to be when we're talking about that opportunity. And I think sometimes you almost need to hear the wrong side of the coin before you can understand the rest of it. And that was kind of a defining moment. It really was, man.
I remember that conversation now that you bring that back to light. I was like, which conversation is he
going
to?
You know.
I remember that conversation.
Sitting outside, and I remember just going like...
Because here's the thing. You know this about me, and this is like where you really knew that I'm a very values-based person. This person had never, ever reached out to me one time. We were at the same brokerage for 3+ years, right? Yeah. 1 and 2 in the brokerage. Year after year, we were like, I was number 1, he was number 2, or he was number 1, I was number... Like, we were right there, neck and neck every year. Not one time did he ever reach out to me. Never. Never try to build a bridge, collaboration, anything. And I was like the most open person at our brokerage trying to like collaborate. And, you know, for me, I was like, okay, now that there's something in it for you, that's why you're having this conversation. Didn't mean that the model didn't make sense, because the model made all the sense in the world. And I saw that it made sense. But I was like, is this the type of person that I want to align myself with? Would I take a bullet for this person? Would they take a bullet for me? The litmus test was a no, which meant, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but like this isn't the direction I'm going to go. I went a different direction.
Well, yeah.
Had he built bridges with me early and developed a true, genuine connection when there was no interest for him on the line other than, hey, us collaborating, I would have 100% gone with him. 100%.
Well, it's funny because within like a month, we had made the full switch, our whole team. We were excited. We were pumped on it. So we were already sold on the opportunity. For us, I think we just needed to find that right person, and that clearly just wasn't the right person. So, you know, it's funny. I think, again, don't choose a sponsor or make a decision based on the person. Make it on the value, right? And that's just it. We work so hard. Like, we work, I don't know how many hours a week or a day, like building content and coaching and mentoring. It's just what we do. And it's funny. It's a passion project more than anything else. And, you know, passive income's just been like a serendipitous like side effect, honestly.
Totally.
Right? And I just think back to that conversation sometimes, and I look at the mistake that some people make when joining EXP is choosing a sponsor that's not for them or that they're aligned to. And that's just one of the things I really respected when we ended up choosing our sponsor. Totally. You know, and I look at some of the content we've made. I mean, he's probably done 15 hours of content with us. Yep. Right? So it's just nuts. It was a good synergy. But I think about that story from time to time. When I drive by and I see his signs on the ground, I just kind of chuckle, being like...
And listen, he's a good person. He
just
has a different business philosophy than we do, and that's okay, right? Like, I've identified that, you know. This individual clearly had the me versus you mentality, which is like, I'm going to keep my cards close to my chest, and I'm going to compete head-on with you. I've always had an abundance mindset. I'm like, I will share my playbook with you, and I will help you level up, which is just going to raise the standard of the industry, which makes me better. Because at the end of the day, it's also about execution. But some people just look at it differently, and that's okay. But collaborative movement, that's our group. It's called the collaborative movement because we're about collaboration, not ego. There's so much ego out there, and that's just not what we're about. We're about helping you build a viable real estate business where you can have an exit strategy and a retirement party.
So stay tuned next time for Story Time with Jason.
Cheers.
Stories from the trenches.
Hey, if this is helpful, subscribe below, guys. We have a ton more content. If you're interested, book an appointment with us. There's an appointment link right below that you can have access directly to my Calendly. Let's have a conversation about your real estate career. Let's talk about where you're at. And here's what I can guarantee you. You will walk away with value from any call that you and I have. And at the end of the day, there'll be zero pressure. So book the appointment, guys. This might be the defining moment that changes the trajectory of your life. And certainly did for
Never
me.
know.
Never know. Cheers. Thank you so much for watching. If you really found this valuable, smash the like button below, subscribe to our YouTube page, and then look for more amazing content.